Good morning. So today I have Prasant with us, who is a consumer product manager with experience in travel and mobility. He is currently leading the traffic team at Turo, where he was previously working at Hopper and TripAdvisor. Let's welcome Prasad on 10 Minutes of Hiding Wisdom, where he will tell us about his experience working with one of the fastest growing companies in the world, specifically in the US, and how his experience has been going. Hi, Prasant. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you today? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us. How's your Friday going? Excited for the weekend? Any special plans?
Yeah, it's going well. Pretty excited. I'm actually going to go. I'm in Berkeley right now on the west coast of the U.S., and I'm going to go see my parents next week. So, going to work from
Oh, that's
there
going to
for
be
a bit.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
going to be
taking
nice.
a red eye on Saturday night, which I'm not looking forward to. But I bought my travel pillow, and I think I'm all ready to go. We'll see.
Okay. Are your parents excited?
I think so. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't think I've seen them in because of the pandemic. It's really hard to kind of travel coast to coast. I haven't seen them in 6 to 8 months, so it'll be
Oh
fun.
wow. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope you have a wonderful time, Prasant.
Thank you.
Of course. So Prasant, can you tell us about where you're currently working, what your company specifically does, and what your role is within the company?
Definitely. I'm currently at Turo, which is the world's largest peer-to-peer car sharing service. I think I'd like to say that we're kind of the Airbnb for cars, for those of you that are familiar with the kind of sharing economy overall. And I've been here for a little bit under 3 years. A long time in startup years for sure. I've been around the block. And my role currently is I'm a lead product manager on our guest team. So we recently actually shifted our product development org from a marketplace team, which kind of dealt with both sides of the marketplace, to a guest and a host team to kind of specifically dedicate resources to each side. And it's been great so far. I think my background was in traditional travel when, like you mentioned, I was at TripAdvisor and Hopper, and those are industries where one side of the business is a consumer that you really care about. You want to get them good deals. You want to help them find their ideal experience. But on the other side, there's these kind of big corporations, the Marriott's, the American Airlines, and all of that. And I think what's cool about Turo is there are human beings on both sides of the marketplace. There are these hosts that are building their livelihood on the platform. They're entrepreneurial. They might have a few cars, like they're supporting their family with it. And on the guest side, it's really cool because there's this large kind of rental car shortage going on in basically in the entire world, specifically in the US. And we're saving a lot of people's trips because these hosts are offering their cars, their minivans, their Lamborghinis, their Toyota Corollas, and we're matching that demand and that supply. So super excited about the business and what we've done so far, but also tons of opportunity ahead as well.
I can see there's, as in like with everything that's going on, there's the shift towards sustainability as well, and you're definitely helping with that as well. So that definitely makes sense because you're
Yeah.
definitely making a
No, it
difference in
makes
the
total
world.
sense. Like we have a ton of electric vehicles on our platform too. I think we're probably one of the premier places for you to go try a Tesla out, or really any other electric vehicle. And we recently announced that we 100% of our trips are going to be carbon neutral. We're kind of
Oh wow.
investing in projects for every single trip that's taken. So super excited to kind of have that sustainability angle as well.
That sounds amazing. I'll definitely give it a shot, specifically because I'm interested in driving a Tesla. So
Oh
that
yeah,
definitely
they're
sounds
super fun.
amazing.
You got to try it out. I think the greatest thing about them to me is we were on a trip and we had a little bit of time to burn, and we were at like a winery in Napa or something. We just kind of popped in Netflix like on that screen and just hung out for 5 or 10 minutes while we were waiting to hit our reservation. So lots of fun stuff. It's like you're driving around an iPad basically.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And your job sounds absolutely amazing, specifically with the way you work and the cars that you must deal with. So I'd love to hear, Prasad, what your favorite part of your job is. Like, what's something that you always look forward to when you're going to work?
Yeah, for me, it's the people. Really, I was initially attracted to the business because I think it was a time where some of the traditional rental car players were getting a little scared. They were like, "Oh, this product seems to be gaining traction, and more people are discovering it." But the reason I stayed around is because everyone is just so collaborative. Everyone is so good at having that intrinsic and internal drive and motivation. Everyone is very mission driven. We really want to put the world's 1.5 billion plus cars to better use. And people use our cars for all sorts of things. And I think it's really cool to be able to work on a product where not only do people know what it is, but also it's really serving a need in the community when it comes to transportation. It sits right in between the you're taking an Uber and a Lyft to get from place to place, and or you're like leasing or buying a car outright. And I think there's a lot of people that when they go on trips, whether that be road trips with their friends or family, whether that be traveling across the country and needing something to get around, there's just so many different use cases for transportation, and we've only really scratched the surface of it.
Well, I mean, you've scratched the surface, and I'm pretty sure this will go a long way. And it absolutely sounds amazing, specifically because you mentioned how people are so important. And for example, if I were to apply to Turo, what is something that as in, like, what is something that you guys would look at me to make sure that I can thrive in that environment? Because there are certain characteristics, traits that you're looking for a person when they're actually applying for a job. So, according to you, what is that?
Yeah, I say there's probably a ton of things, and it's hard to quantify them. We are very kind of values driven to some degree, and so a couple of our values, for instance, pioneering is one of them, which is super interesting. So having that ability to really think outside of the box, right, and especially in a business like ours, like we're creating a new category. It's kind of adjacent to traditional rental car, but it's really its own thing. So just being able to take new information in, have that growth mindset that allows you to test things that might not work, test things that are going to fail, but you learn from them. Just generally having that very user focused mindset, and creating that new category. So that's super big. Being down to earth and supportive, also super huge traits. It's not everyone has to live within this very narrow viewpoint of what their job is, right? There's sometimes you got to step in and do something that you're uncomfortable with, and help someone out, and it's kind of like no one's really keeping score there. It's like we're all collectively moving towards this larger mission. We're all trying to build this business together. So really understanding that that really team first mindset overall.
What a beautiful culture. And I love how you mentioned that sometimes you just don't have to keep score and you just have to go and step out of your comfort zone to help people, because I can definitely see how people would want to be in such a culture where they would be feel supported and making sure that the company is going towards
There's a lot
success.
of psychological
So thank
safety
you.
with that for sure. I think ultimately, like, you want to
Exactly.
feel like you can bring your authentic self to work, and you want to feel like your opinion is valued, and regardless of what tier you are in the hierarchy, if you're a VP, a C level, or sort of an IC or a manager, it feels like at Turo everyone's opinion is very valued, and it's not just who's the loudest voice in the room today that really gets to make the ultimate decision.
Well, Turo sounds absolutely amazing, and I will definitely check out more about the company because I would love to read about what the company's doing and everything because it absolutely sounds amazing. Well, Prasant, I'd love to hear regarding the one last question would definitely be whether the company is hiring, what kind of positions are open, and what departments are hiring the most.
Yeah, I mean, we're hiring really across the board, I think, because of some, acceleration in the business, and just generally like people are, a little bit more excited about going out, booking cars, taking road trips. We're hiring across the board. So engineering, product management, product design, are the ones that I think I'm most close to, but really across the board, really any function at a kind of a sharing economy startup we're hiring for. So I would encourage everyone to kind of check out the careers page, take a look at what's available, and apply if you feel like it's a good fit.
Okay, well, Prasant, we like to keep things short. Our time is up. It was an absolute pleasure learning about Turo, about your experience, how supportive everyone is within the company. I can definitely see the company going places because I can definitely see there's this humanistic approach where everyone's so supportive of each other, but then you guys are making a difference when it comes to actually putting cars to use and reducing your carbon print. So I wish you all the best and I wish you even more success because this definitely sounds
I
amazing.
appreciate it, and yeah, once again, encourage everyone to apply and take a look at us, and thank you for kind of giving me the platform to talk about my experience at Turo.